Alright, so the videos today should be pretty short. We're actually getting into angle relationships, and it's just heavy in vocab, so that's what we're going to start with now. So we're actually going to start with naming an angle. There are 3 different ways that you can name an angle. So you'll be given something like this picture below, and depending on the information given, tells you how you can name it. The first way you can name an angle is from the vertex. And what the vertex is this point where the angle sides, if you want to call them that, extend from. So if we wanted to name this angle by its vertex, we would just simply name it angle X. The second way that you can name an angle is if it has a number in it, and I'll show you what that means. So right here you see this 3 is right there in that angle marking, so we can actually call this angle angle 3 as well. And the third and final, and usually the most specific and the best way to name an angle is by 3 points. So I can name this angle F X T, or I can go the other way and I can start with T, go to X, and then to F. Both are fine, both mean the same thing. If you notice that vertex is in the very middle, so just make sure that happens if you're using the 3 letters. So you're going to do an example. It's right here. I drew the angle for you, labeled it for you. A question is going to pop up, and you're going to check all of the options that could be possible names for this angle. So this next topic we're getting into is classifying angles. And we're going to learn what to call angles based on their angle measure. We have 4 ways we can classify by angle. The first one is acute. The second is obtuse. Third is right. And the last one we're going to talk about is straight. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees. A right angle is equal to 90 degrees. And a straight angle is equal to 180 degrees. So these are the 4 that we're going to talk about. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to draw an example for each so you can see. I have an angle. I'm going to say this is 40 degrees. So because it is less than 90, this is an acute angle. For obtuse, it's going to be a big angle because remember it's greater than 90 degrees. So something like 110 degrees would be obtuse. Your right angles are really important because they look like corners, but they have to have this little box there. If it's not drawn, you can't assume it's 90. So remember, right angle is equal to 90 degrees. And kind of like the right angle, the straight angle has an important marking. It's a line, and it has this little half circle. That tells you it's 180 degrees, meaning it's a straight angle. So this next thing we're going to talk about are angle pairs. We talked about just individual angles just before this. There are a couple of different angle pairs we're going to talk about. The first one is called adjacent. And what this is our, whatever you want to call it, 2 angles. So here's the first one. This is angle 1. And this one is angle 2. They have this one ray, this one side, if you want, that they share in common. The next one we have is complementary. These are angles that equal 90 degrees. So I'm going to draw a right angle here. And it can be split into 2, 3, 4 parts. I'm just going to split it in 2 for right now. I'm saying this bottom is angle 1. This top one is angle 2. Together they're complementary because they form that right angle. They equal 90 degrees. The next one we have is supplementary. And they're similar to complementary, but these are angles that equal 180. So I have something that is a line, because remember, lines equal 180. I'm actually going to split this into 3. So I have my first one, which is right over here on the right, my second one in the middle, and my third one's on the left. Together, these 3 angles are supplementary. They equal 180. Another word for supplementary or name is linear pair, because they form a line. And the last set of angle pairs, angle groups that we're going to talk about are vertical angles. Now, what vertical angles are is they usually look like an X together. So, like if I had angle 1 and angle 2, they're across from each other, these would be vertical angles. And what's really important about vertical angles is that they are equal to each other. So I know that angle 1 is equal to angle 2 because they are vertical. So these notes really are just the basic, the vocab. You need to have them for next week, so make sure you do copy them down, and we'll practice them starting Monday.